my diplomatic residence, my ambassador's residence in Cambodia was a very nice building. It had been owned by a British bank, and they had made it into a commercial building. When I took it over, we leased it, and I directed some improvements that were made to it to make it more appropriate and fit to do the official entertaining that we had. I brought all this artwork from Iowa that was hung all around the areas where we entertained people, where people could come in and see about my background being from Iowa. Here's art from my home state. Look at the wonderful story that it tells. And it had, it wasn't a huge estate or anything, but it had kind of a nice grassy area in front, and we had a flagpole where the U.S. flag and my ambassadorial flag would fly, and some bushes, and then big gate that would be open to let cars come and go. So, and we had a couple of Cambodian guards with belly clubs to hold off anybody tried to get in to steal anything, and no guns. We were nearby government officials' similar dwellings. So, animals had been very threatened in the Khmer Rouge period. People talk about going into the forest and you don't hear the sounds because all the animals had been killed and eaten. So the animal population had dwindled greatly across Cambodia. But there were a couple of cats who had come wandering in, seeking refuge, I think, from the hard life out on the streets in Cambodia. It was Cambodia, whether it's humans or cats or dogs, it was a kill or be killed kind of situation. And some female cats that had gotten pregnant came in and found a place in my yard with a big wall around it where they could be safe and give birth to their kittens. So I had a litter of kittens and hanging out with their mother, and they'd start, as they grew older and before we gave them away to anyone, they'd be wandering around. And it's almost, my residence was almost like the Garden of Eden in the Bible, where everyone could be safe and there were no threats. So this little mother cat could take her little kittens out and teaching them to hunt bugs that were flying around lights, and teaching them to stalk them, and acting like cats, but in this safe, secure environment, in this Garden of Eden. And so as the cats are growing up, the kittens are growing up, and they get the idea, I think, that they're like diplomats. I'd refer to them as the Diplo-cats. And they sort of had the run of our compound, and people are going in and out, and the doors would be open, and the cats would come wandering into my residence. And I remember once we've got entertainment and a big diplomatic reception going on, and the French ambassador is talking to the ambassador from Malaysia, and they're with the ambassador from Thailand, and the Chinese ambassador, and the German ambassador, and Cambodian officials, and they're almost like they're there to have a conversation with them, are these cats, and hanging out, and I try to, shoo them outside, but they were clear in their own mind that they belonged there. I would meet with people, and they'd come and want to join the meeting and come and sit on the chairs. And one of them once climbed up on the furniture, climbed onto the head of one of my guests, and he's a congressman, and he's trying to pull the cat off his head in my living room. And so the cats just were felt that they were part of everything, and then they kind of ended up being treated by me as well. One of them, I was just talking with my wife, see if she remembered the story. Sad story, because one of the kittens, the mother, then left the kitten behind, wandered out through the gates, back out into the street, back out into the hard world, like being driven out of the Garden of Eden in the Bible. And there, the mother cat was set upon by dogs or other animals. We found her body out on the road, killed, not very far from the main gate that she'd gone out. So this poor little kitten is an orphan and be sick and trying to make her better. And my wife and daughter are overseeing her, and she's could barely eat anything, so they take cotton balls and drop it in the milk and let the kitten suck on the cotton ball, which leaves the kitten with the certain belief that milk comes from cotton. So later I'd pick up the kittens and hold them, and I'd be wearing a cotton polo shirt or so, and the kitten's trying to nurse on my shirt to get milk out of my shirt. There were a lot of cute stories like that about the Diplo cats and Diplo kittens, whether they were hanging out with the French ambassador or climbing on the heads of congressmen or sitting there being held and trying to suck milk out of the shirts of guests. They had an unusual and interesting part in the diplomatic life, the diplomatic comings and goings on at my American ambassador's residence in Phnom Penh between 1996 and 1999.